Perfect. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Like Amanda just said, my name is Olivia. I'm the Director of Business Development for the SEI solution in North America. And my colleague, Nima, is joining us today for the demo part of our session. He's also a Director of Business Dev working with the European region, but again, he'll be helping us today showcasing the SEI solution. So let's jump right into it. We're going to be talking about data analysis and reporting challenges that organizations like yourselves might be experiencing today, talk a little bit about why BI is a necessity, SEI overview, very quick kind of intro as to what we do, how to use data to build successful plans, demo, and then we'll leave it at the end. I think we'll only have time for the Q&A. Getting into why business intelligence is a necessity, looping into the challenges that organizations like yourselves might be experiencing today when it comes to data analysis and really gaining insights into your information. Businesses today are really more complex than they've ever been before in the sense that you're not typically just using your Sage system or your core system to enter information and transactions and things like that. Typically, there's other solutions that you're implementing, such as a CRM or a payroll application, but you still need to gain insight into everything that's going on, and pulling all of that information together without a BI tool is very tedious and cumbersome. The data is coming from multiple different sources, and really to get the full picture of what's going on in the enterprise, you need some kind of a way to pull all of that information together. Also, businesses, sometimes different departments are operating in silos. Sometimes some departments have access to information, others don't. The reliance on IT is oftentimes heavy as well without a BI solution to really enable an end user to gain access to their own information for decision making. There's no easy way to consolidate multi-company information as well. So a lot of different challenges. Some of the reports that you have already, or if you're using tools today, if you're a growing organization, you might be experiencing performance issues with your reporting. I can go on and on, but essentially, in summary, it really is critical to have a business intelligence tool to gain insight into your data, and of course, as we're going to discuss, build successful plans within your enterprise. As far as SEI goes, we are a Sage solution that has been an OEM solution for the last 10 years. We work with multiple different business partners around the globe, of course, BAS being one of them in Canada. We're available for multiple different Sage product lines, including Sage 300, which is what we're focused on showcasing here today. And we have over 2,700 customers worldwide using the solution. And really what our mission is to provide organizations with access to their information, empower you to get the answers your business needs for success. SEI is a full-blown business intelligence solution that enables any kind of user, again, to access information in a way that makes sense to them, use that information for analysis, to make decisions, use that information for reporting, share it with others. It's really all about enabling organizations to get access to their information, again, at the end of the day, to make their decisions and, of course, to build successful plans. So we're going to talk about how you can incorporate business intelligence and use the insights from business intelligence to build these plans for your enterprise. The first step is collecting all of your data. So honing back in on kind of one of the first challenges I addressed, which was bringing in information from multiple different places, consolidating that data for enterprise-wide insights, that's really the first step when it comes to having everything laid out in front of you so that you can perform analysis and really have a good idea of what's going on in every different area, every different department of the enterprise. Without access to all of your information, it is very difficult to create these kinds of plans based on your current and past data, of course. So with SEI, there are a multitude of different ways that you can very easily connect to multiple different software systems. You see some of them listed here, but there really is a slew of different systems that we can access and pull in data from, even legacy systems as well. Step 2, cleansing your data. Now that you've pulled in your information and you're consolidating it from multiple different sources, it doesn't necessarily mean that your data is going to speak and integrate with each other. You might be pulling in systems that have different GL accounts. The way that they're named might not be the same, causing duplicate transactions to show up. Cleansing your data is definitely an important step. It needs to be done before analysis of the data in order to avoid inconsistencies, avoid errors, really, again, providing you with that clear, synchronized picture of all of your enterprise data that's accurate and reliable. Step 3, the analysis part. There are many different ways to analyze your data, and of course, you'll need to do that. That's how we build plans for the future, is based on what's going on today, what's been going on in the past. We have all that information brought together now. We can take a look into it, see trends, see activities in different areas of the business over the last years, so we can make predictions based on those trends for upcoming years, again, in different areas of the business, not just financials, but potentially sales, inventory, all of the different areas of the enterprise. With SEI, there are multiple different ways that you can view data, starting with the web interface, which is very dynamic, it's intuitive. It can really be used by anyone to slice and dice and manipulate reports that have already been created to be used to your advantage or to any user's advantage. We also have the option of utilizing our Excel add-in, which is another platform for analysis for those who are very comfortable and familiar with Excel, which we know a lot of financial people are. It definitely provides a great way, again, to get all your data into an Excel framework that's updating in real time, that's updating as you create or enter new GL accounts even. It's very dynamic, and again, for people who are more comfortable in that environment, it provides an excellent place to analyze your data. SEI can also be embedded in other applications. So if there's anyone using the web screens of Sage 300, you can actually embed SEI dashboards or the full solution directly within your Sage 300 environment. That would also work with Teams, things like SharePoint, again, pulling all of that together in one kind of common framework. SEI also provides the integration with Sage 300, meaning that we deliver a multitude of different reports on different areas of the business that you can start utilizing from day one of implementation. So all of that analysis is already at your fingertips. So you can start slicing and dicing, drilling into data, again, looking at possibly trends from years past to really have a good understanding and idea of what's happened in the business in order to be able to make plans going forward. Collaboration is also very important when it comes to creating plans, because you want to make sure that everyone in the company is on the same page. So you need to be sharing information and make sure everybody has the right information to be able to be on the same page and work towards common goals. With SEI, it's very easy for people to log in, again, of any technical level, to log in, manipulate information, really view information in real time. But there's a multitude of different other sharing methods as well, including an automated distribution module for report sharing, to be able to share results, share plans, and it's all about collaboration. It's very key to making a company successful. Lastly, building the plan. You have all the data together, the data is cleansed, it's providing you a clear picture of what's going on. You've built a dashboard with many different views incorporated that are relevant to the plan you might be creating. Now it's time to use all of that information that's at your disposal and create those plans based on your data. So building your plans can be done in a multitude of different ways. SEI provides some budgeting and forecasting capabilities within the application itself to be able to create financial budgets and forecasts, of course. And again, it will help you monitor as you go, as you're trying to execute these plans. It will help you monitor and allow you to be advised of important changes and when you need to be making changes as well to these plans, because we know when we make plans, they don't always necessarily go the way that we want them to. So oftentimes we need to adapt to the plans that we've made in order to continue on that path to achieving our goals. Now, Nima is going to kind of get into the demonstration. He'll showcase some of the features that we just discussed. And Nima, I will pass you, I think, over the reins if I can.
So hi everyone, and thanks Liv and Amanda for the intro. I'm going to take you through a quick product demonstration of Sage Enterprise Intelligence for Sage 300 and what's offered out of the box, and also some of the features and capabilities that might be new to some of you, or if you've never seen a video or never used SCI, it'll be interesting as well. So let me just start off by reminding everyone that Sage 300, obviously it's a client tool, but also has a web screen capabilities. And you know, it was important to mention that SCI can also be embedded into the web screens. So if any of you have made that, I'd say, migration or move over to some of the web screens, you should know that SCI also lives there as well. So if I can just, you know, click on any of these here, I can even close this here, some of these, and go from scratch here. So we'll have a nice little button and we'll go and open up the SCI web screens. It will ask you to log in just one time, but actually it could be even single sign-on if you wish. And basically what this means is that all the reporting analysis that we can create with SCI can be embedded directly into your web screens. And this is an example towards HTML Office. We're just to show you how through the solution, easy to navigate. And essentially we have directly to a dashboard, you know, some key KPIs your CFO is looking for, or maybe you as an end user in certain departments need information. Well, you can have it open up directly as a dashboard, which is reading a consolidated real-time report from your, I say real-time or almost real-time, but because it's consolidated, but you get the information at your fingertips and you can actually have it dynamically across the board and really work with a powerful BI solution. It's not just Excel. Let me just make sure it said I had some audio problems. No, okay, seems to be all right.
Here,
so next I wanted to just, yeah.
We lost you for a minute, but we're good. Keep going.
We're good now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. No, just really quickly saying that we're going to switch over now to SCI standalone, which is where the web screen and everybody would work with here. We obviously, being in Canada, we have English and French as the two primary languages, but if you want to work in your, you know, different language, there's many choices as well. Logging in, what you have here on the left-hand side is your command center. We have integration, out-of-the-box library of reports for Sage 300 and all the different modules. So your APs, your AR, your finance, your sales, PJC, if anybody's doing any projects, purchasing, inventory, order entry, and so on and so forth. And just recently, we've added additional integration and out-of-the-box reporting for Service Manager and for AutoSimpli as well. So if anybody here on the line is in manufacturing or Service Manager, using Service Manager, know that we've extended our integration to some third-party solutions that are very, very common in the Sage 300 space. If I'm to open up maybe one of the finance reports just to get started, let's say, for example, an income statement report, you'll see how it's easy to navigate and double-click on any report. And all you have to do, sometimes even, it won't even ask you a question, but you basically have to put the year and the month of your choice. This is a filtering panel, I would say a selection page rather, that you can put the year, the month, if you want a company code. You know, my data is demo data. I could put SAM Ltd, SAM Inc. I could put a specific ledger and a whole bunch more criteria, but we've made. So as I was saying, you could basically drill down and get your information. You can even get down to the document number of your choice. Now, whatever your account settings, however you set up your accounts in Sage, you can actually see it any which way you want here. So you don't have to replicate the reports you currently have, but rather customize them to your needs. Here we have a balance sheet, for example, and I can see my assets, liabilities grouped in a certain way. So obviously you can assign any sort of code or any sort of information and drill down and start to see the details the way your business is run, to see it however you need it. One of the nice things is that at any given point, you can still filter and add more filters and say, look, I want to see the balance sheet between the months 8 and 10, for example, and it'll change the report for you accordingly. So very easy to do that. And then you could drill down and see all the values for those 3 months. If you're doing a quarterly analysis and you want to see the full balance and every account transaction. The other thing is that you can also do things like I have to see this report on a daily basis, so I can actually subscribe through it by using our distribution feature, email distribution feature. So I can say Nima's daily report, email subject balance sheet, and schedule it daily at the frequency of my choice. So I'll say every 3 days, or every week, I could say rather every Monday, for example. Okay. We can also send this out to anybody we want. Again, this is all data coming from Sage or multiple data sources. So whatever data you have in your organization, you can view it in this manner. We can also send it quickly to, for example, if I want to share it with Olivia and be like, look, these values are the same, send it to her directly from here, and she'll receive the email with the attachment and the modifications that I've done. If I am to continue now, you can imagine with a powerful tool like Sage Enterprise Intelligence, you can actually have a lot more power and do things like dashboards and so on and so forth. So I think I already showed you one example, but maybe I'll show you a product performance dashboard based on sales, just to show you that at the end of the day, all the information can be seen in graphics, can be seen across different, let me put a few months here. Across different values, you can see them on a map if you so choose, and we can go ahead and see across Canada where my sales have been. I don't have any relevant data here today, but you'll see exactly where the map is pointing, and you can also see what products you've sold, what's the month-to-month growth, what's the invoice quantity, and the cost of these periods combined, and you can even filter on a specific sales rep if as well, to keep an eye on one or two people specifically. Like I will just pick, I think David and Dan and Don, these three here. And we'll see the sales of those 3 sales reps together. You can obviously go ahead and build more financial reports or more Excel-based reports as well. What I wanted to show you here is that SCI lives in the web screen, obviously. So I've opened Google Maps and I was able to embed it in Sage 300 as well. But one thing that's really nice is that for users who prefer, they can use Excel. So the Excel add-in and all these buttons and features that you see up here, whether it's creating real-time formulas, creating drill downs, duplicators, data extractions, ultimately you get a report that can be very dynamic with real-time formulas using the SCI technology. And with that, you can see that even if you change the values to month 5 or 6 or whatever, it just loads in a few seconds, and all the values on my screen will load accordingly and show you the new values for month 5, 2022, and I could do versus my actual versus my budget, even though we all know that these are coming from different tables or even sometimes different solutions in your company, different tables in Sage or different softwares in case you use another solution for budgeting. You can still compare your actuals versus your budgets. There's a lot of data in this Excel file here. So you have your income statement, you have your trial balance, all of which are filtered on that initial month and year that I selected on the first page. So this is a very dynamic way of looking at information. If I want, I can also, as I mentioned, do a formula drill down either here or clicking up here. I'll click OK. And now you can see all the transactions that took place to basically give me that value in my revenue cell here. In cell E17, I have 4997.68. So if I go back here, I can see every transaction that got me to that value, except I'll go find the amount column that I'm looking for. So I think it's this one. And I'll put an auto sum at the bottom. So I think it's the same value. Let's put it in dollars. 4,997,676.83, which is the same value as here, except I've removed some of the decimals here. So it'll be the same value. You get the idea that all these values are coming from your Sage database or any data source that you have, and you could drill down and see really the transactional detail, who did what, when was this transaction entered, and I could really spot the mistake. And don't forget, we're consolidating all of your data, not just financials, but all of your data. So here we have Sam Inc., Sam Ltd, which is 2 separate companies and 2 separate Sage databases to begin with. So really having it all together really helps you in your analysis and gives you a 360 view of your business. In terms of the evolution of the Excel add-in, I think one of the important things to show you right now is going back into the web screens. And what we have is this neat little button called the Web Workbooks. Well, Web Workbooks is very similar to Excel, except it's more powerful and it's newer and it's directly embedded into SEI Web and therefore can also work embedded in Sage. If I'm to open up maybe one report, for example, let's open up a balance sheet. You'll notice that the report, after it loads, looks very similar, the interface, pardon me, looks very similar to Excel. So the learning curve on this will be extremely easy, or a learning curve will be very short, and you'll be able to see that I can build and customize all my data into these reports and have them live within SEI, and I can literally use the features that I know, all the ribbon and everything you guys are used to and we're used to. Well, this is all still there. The nice thing is that it's more secure, it's that it's more powerful, it's pulling data live from any of your data sources. Okay, and I can see I can even group things and get all my information accordingly. And all of these are live formulas that are basically showing me my SAM Inc. versus my SAM Ltd. Side by side, and I could see the information. Really powerful stuff, and you can obviously change the month here as well. And a couple of seconds of loading later, it's going to start populating all the values here as well. And in this particular screen, we are going to add some AI, so giving you a sneak peek at the roadmap. We're adding some AI to make the loading optimized loading in terms of speed, in terms of understanding what you need. And in the future, it will even recommend what kind of formulas to use and what kind of information. You might even be able to type in a question or be like, hey, what is my net income from this period to that period? And it'll give you a result right there on the screen. The Web Workbook works with the Analysis tab. So Formula Wizard, Formula Drill Down, I basically have some different options. Data extraction is coming soon, actually November 18th, and more features of the Excel add-in will be available in this screen as well. I'm going to try to open up one more example for you. Let me go here. Let's do more of a financial KPIs version of the Web Workbook. So then here we can see, okay, I have actually a full dashboard where I can see all the information that I want. But notice how we also have filters here. We can make this into a drop-down menu quite easily, but right now I'll just type it in. I'll switch it to SAM Ltd, and my financial dashboard, my revenue, my profit, and all my operating expenses will change accordingly to that button up here. If you put a star, or if you're only one company, then you don't need multi-company. You might need to change the year, the ledger, the currency, and any other dimension that comes, any other segmentation or dimension that you use, any other value that's in your Sage database can be used to filter this information and give you your information. So very nice looking dashboards as well. And again, we have some features like sharing. I'd like to export this, print this, and there's more adding, like create an external link and so on and so forth. What I really like to show is that if you're in any web screen here and you just go down here and you say, look, open up an Excel looking report for me, and let's do, for example, an income statement. And even though I'm on another solution altogether, I can have an Excel looking screen built in and showing me value in real time. So very powerful stuff and very familiar and very easy to use. And I have one last feature to show you. Oh, this doesn't have any data in that year. I think I should put it SAM Ltd maybe. There you are. So we just didn't have the right filter, but you can see how quickly and easy it is to get the information. I'm just finally going to end with one little important feature that's called reporting trees. Now, some of you may already know what a reporting tree does and what it is, but it can really simplify your reporting needs. So let me go back here. Again, this is out of the box delivered. If I am to pull up, for example, a balance sheet, I'm going to go to my year where I have some data, 2022, month 10. And you'll notice at the very top of the balance sheet, it says all as of October 2022, which is the month I filtered on, but I didn't select anything for all. Well, in fact, it's showing me a consolidated balance sheet where I have my AR accounts and I have the details and I have my cash accounts and I have the detail. And let's look at one of these numbers together. 2.754 million. What happens if I use the reporting tree? Well, I can then break it down, this same balance sheet, and quickly look at it on just SAM Ltd, for example. And it'll refresh the data, same layout, same everything. And oh, I guess all my data is under SAM Ltd because that's the same value. Let me go under Western versus Eastern. See, I have basically a tree structure here. So I can change the values, and maybe this is not the example I should be using. It seems like the values don't change. Sorry about that. Let me go to this one. In this one, I had it tested. I think I opened the wrong one. This one is really just showing me all of my accounts. And remember, you have the segments, the dashes, or you can drill down by segment 100 and 10 and whatever you need. But in the reporting tree, you basically say, I just want my sales accounts. Anything with the number 4, question mark, which is how your reporting trees currently work in Sage. And you can see I can only see my accounts relevant to that. If I just want to see my costs, I can see cost of goods sold accounts, and I could see it like that as well. So the reporting tree is present in a few places, and it's going to be added very soon to, it's already present in the Excel add-in, I believe. Yep, reporting tree should be there. It already is. So you have that feature quite a lot of places, and it's going to be added to the web workbook shortly after. So ultimately, you get a bunch of dynamic filtering and reporting trees and access to your data, consolidated or non-consolidated, and you can see your data across multiple data sources. We didn't have much time today to go into a full demo, so I was just trying to cover a very high level, but it is very easy to use, and there's a ton of videos and information online. I'll leave you with one important link, which is the UDM, sageenterpriseintelligence.com, and over here you can see just some of the dashboards that are delivered out of the box, and some of our budgeting and forecasting capabilities built into our universal data model. So this is a really cool website if you want to get a taste of what is offered out of the box, but a lot more comes with Sage 300 and Service Manager and AutoSimpli as well. I think that's all from my side. I think I'll pass it over back to Liv.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nima, for the parts that we could hear. It was very good. I'm just kidding. We heard most of it, but thank you so much. I know there's so much to show in very little time, so I think you did a good quick overview.
Yeah, really sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. If it's, I'll get it checked on my side.
It happens. It happens. So let's talk about why Sage 300 users choose SEI. Some of the key reasons, the differentiators. Nima showed this to you. It's embedded within Sage 300. So if you are in the web screens, you can have that embedded environment, everything within one common interface for accessibility. The multi-company consolidations, when you have multiple databases, it's very easy, as you could see as well in the reports, to have that consolidated environment for your different types of reporting. It's especially interesting on the financial side, where you can drill into one company to everything together. You can use the reporting tree again to filter on your company's hierarchy if that's a multi-company situation. So improving, you know, that kind of automation when it comes to the consolidated reporting. The Excel add-in and the web workbook with SEI, we're not just delivering the web interface, although it is very powerful and provides a lot of features and functions and insights. We want to offer multiple options to people who feel more familiar with an Excel, who might want to navigate, you know, on a web platform. We want to give that flexibility to our end users to really decide where they feel best, most comfortable doing their reporting. The fast loading times improve performance of the reports. With SEI, there are multiple different ways that we can improve performance, including the use of data cubes. So if you do have very large transaction volumes and you want your reports running lightning fast, there are definitely methods that can be utilized to ensure excellent report performance. The budgeting and forecasting capabilities, if you're an organization today doing budgets and forecasts very manually, perhaps in Excel, this could be a nice next step for you to update your budgets and also report off of your budgets versus actuals within the same platform. There are some capabilities, as Nima mentioned, at the end of the presentation, that will allow you to do certain things when it comes to budgets and forecasts. The optional fields as well are there in the 300 environment, which doesn't sound like much, but I believe with some of the other solutions, it's a little bit more difficult and technical to pull in those optional fields when you are using them. So with SEI, we deliver that ability to access those optional fields with our out-of-the-box reporting. And lastly, the conversion tool that we offer for Sage Intelligence to Sage Enterprise Intelligence reports. So if you are a Sage Intelligence user and you're interested in perhaps enhancing the way you analyze and report off data with a solution like SEI. Those reports that you've done in SI will not be lost. We can convert them in 4 easy steps to Sage Enterprise Intelligence. So you're not only starting with what's out of the box as far as reports go, but you're also starting with the basics, the bases of your previous Sage Intelligence reports that you might be utilizing still today. Just a very quick customer success story to share with our customer, MeesPro, who actually was a former Sage Intelligence user, but who has moved to Sage Enterprise Intelligence, and having done so has saved a lot of time, effort, and at the end of the day, money in terms of what they were investing to do their reporting at the end of each month. So they're very, very satisfied with the solution, and again, you know, have improved the way that they do things by moving from SI to SEI. In terms of the training and skill development, of course, it is a BI solution. It is very intuitive and it can be you know, used out of the box. However, in order to get the most value out of any BI solution, really there is some training involved. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but there are so many assets to utilize to really get you up to speed and be able to rely on for support going forward. So BAS is an excellent resource. They're experts in this solution already. We offer online learning as well. Our online help is very extensive. When you're looking for information, you might be stuck on certain things. So enabling your team to use a solution like SEI, it's not a long process. Again, there are resources available, and at the end of the day, the ROI is significant. The resources that we have are here, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of the call, like I was supposed to, that there are some handouts in the handout section of GoToWebinar. So those are accessible to you as well. I believe there's a sheet on Sage 300, as well as our MeesPro success story if you're interested in reading that in more detail. Thank you so much to everybody for joining. Thanks, Amanda, for moderating. Again, apologies for the audio issues, but we hope everybody got value from the session today. And again, thanks to BAS for including us in their Remote Connect.